Let's do it. Let's rank marketing methods. My name's Steven. Welcome to the video. I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion of all the marketing methods that I can think of. I have 20 of them specifically. I'm actually going to make another tier here. Add row below. And we're going to change this to the F tier. That way, we have a full tier list. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one that we have, man, I made these blocks a little too small. We have streaming program commercials. So this would be anything like Paramount, Netflix, Hulu, like doing commercials on there. This is actually a really good form of advertising, and I'm actually going to be pushing this way soon because I've been looking into it a lot, and you can actually get the same CPM that you can get on Facebook ads and Instagram ads that you can get on like Paramount and stuff. And CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions. So you can actually get basically the same cost, but people will see it. This is good for brand recognition. However, as a initial like get a bunch of clients, depending on what you're selling, I'm going to go specifically, we're going to talk about like contractors, home service businesses. This can be pretty difficult to sell off rip, just because, you know, they'll need to see your ad a bunch of times. And what's good is on streaming platforms, people do see your ads like multiple times over and over and over again. So I would say relatively this is a good form of marketing. But I don't think it is going to get you like enough. I don't think you're really going to get enough leads from it, just simply because people aren't in a buying state when they're looking or when they're watching TV and subscription stuff. Also, they can pay to not have it, so a lot of people just don't even have like they don't even pay or they don't even have ads on their streaming platforms. But they're not in this buying state. They're in like probably the laziest state they could be in. But it like basically it's just like, I don't know, when was the last time you bought something off the TV, if that makes sense? You know what I mean? It's not infomercials. This isn't 2009 anymore. That's a Mac Miller song. But it is still a good way of advertising. I'm gonna put this I'd probably put this in the C territory. No, I'll put this in the B territory. Walk-ins. So this is like walking into a business and handing them your business card and having a conversation. From my experience, usually a lot of this kind of goes where like you give them your business card and they throw it in the trash and forget about it. A lot of people don't like solicitation. And as we are progressing more into online AI territory, they need more like human to human connection. So that is kind of like the pro to this, but also on the other side, they're just used to buying stuff that way. Like that's just the way people are going. Like people are buying stuff from Amazon. They're buying stuff online. They're buying their groceries online. Walking into a business, usually from my experience, 9 times out of 10, it's oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll look into it. And then your business card gets thrown into the trash. But it can still work. You know, it's just, again, it's soliciting. As soon as you start soliciting someone, it bothers them. You know what I mean? They have so many. That's the other thing too. Is like people get so many messages and texts and solicitations all the time. Then you solicit them in person. That's like, for me, it's like, oh my god, it's even bigger dick than somebody that just fucking sent me a text message, in my opinion. But also, it is a good way to get that person to person connection. I'll put this in the C tier. The next one is TikTok ads. So TikTok's great. TikTok is a wonderful platform because you can get a lot of views very quickly. I've always said post content, post content, post content. Never ever stop posting content. However, if you're running a remodeling business, your audience isn't on TikTok. Okay? They're not on TikTok because your audience is older people. And most of those people aren't on TikTok. Yes, some of them are. But for the most part, a lot of these people are on Facebook, Instagram. And the reason why is because it's the oldest one. It's the one that they got when they were in college. The one that they got when they were, in high school or elementary school or whatever. Right? So most of your audience is not going to be on TikTok. But I'll put this in the C tier. The next one we have is Facebook ads. Facebook ads are amazing. All right. If you run Facebook ads, you are getting the entirety of the buyer pyramid, right? So just to give you some context, like 60% of the people are not looking for the service at all and don't know they have a problem. 20% of the people know they have a problem and are looking for a solution or sorry, they know they have the problem, but they're not looking for a solution. 17% of the buyer pyramid, top 17%, are actively looking for a solution and know they have the problem. And then the top 3% are looking for your solution. All right. They're looking for what you offer. All right. And they're either looking for you directly or they're looking for what you offer. When you run Facebook ads, you are capturing everybody. And so if you run your ads correctly, and you run ads that target every single group in that pyramid, the people that don't know anything and you have to inform them, the people that do know stuff but need just a little bit more information or convincing to buy, and then the people that are ready to buy right there, if you advertise in that manner, you will capture a lot more people. Now, on the negative side to it, usually it's a harder sell just because it's a person that is coming off the internet that you've never met before. But if you're good at sales, and you're willing to have conversations with these people and close them, they are more likely to buy. And if you have better content, they're also more likely to buy. People trust when you have better content. If you have really, really good content, really good videos, not just like some picture of a job you did, all right? I see a lot of people run Facebook ads and they expect to get like 50 new clients with like a crappy picture of a job they did. And that doesn't happen, all right? You have to stand out of the crowd. And you can't do that by having shit content and by having bad advertisement and not testing a lot. The negative side to this, though, is that you do have to spend money on it, right? You have to pay ad spend for Facebook ads. But to be honest, if you're not spending money on ads in any degree, whatever that is, I'm not talking about you spent $100 on a couple yard signs, you put them around your town. That's not what I mean. If you're not spending thousands of dollars every single month on advertising, you're just like, you're going to be left in the dust soon. Like non-negotiable, Facebook ads is S tier. Websites. I want to make this clear, and I put websites on here for a reason. Websites is not marketing, that is branding. Okay, a website is a funnel. It is where you send the people. Okay, without traffic, a website does not do anything for you. I see a lot of people offering. You see these like agency guys offering like websites. Oh, we build websites for you. We build you a brand new website. You don't need a website. In fact, I was actually operating for 3 years without a website. I just finally built a website. You can go to conversionhammer.com and check it out. I finally built a website. I didn't have one. I just had little landing pages and funnel pages when I needed people to go to specific places. If you don't have traffic going to that website, then you're not going to get any jobs from it. And so I see people all the time. They come to me and they're like, I built a website and it's not working. It's like, you're not running any traffic to it. Oh, shit. I forgot to put SEO on here. I just realized that. SEO, I forgot to put on here. SEO, I'd put lower. I'd kind of put it with the website. Like, SEO is great. But there's other factors that go into, oh my God, did I forget Google ads too? No, they're here. Okay. There's other factors that go into it. Like you can have the best words, but like everybody can have the best words. There's other factors that go into this as well. Like you need to have not only the right words, but you also need to have Google ads. You need to have, what's it called? I'm missing testimonials. Like you need to have like reviews, right? There's a lot of other factors that go into it too. And I think some people just think that, oh, I made a website, so now like I'm in business and I should be getting jobs. That is not true at all. Okay. I've seen people have a website for years that didn't get them any results. All right. It's not a marketing. All right. That is not marketing. It's a part of marketing, but I put this in here specifically to let you understand that having a website does not mean that you have marketing. I'm putting that in the F tier for that reason. Although websites are good and you should have a website. Affiliate program, this is fire. This is phenomenal. Putting this in the A tier. An affiliate program is essentially where you get people who are maybe like an influencer to promote your product and they get a kickback for it. Okay? It's basically a free salesman. All right. Affiliate programs are great. They're hard to get into. And actually, I'll put that in the B tier just because it's hard to find people to promote your stuff. But it's still a very, very good way of getting clients. The next one that we have is a referral program. You should have this 100%. That is S tier. You need to have a referral program. If you do not have a referral program, you are missing out on a lot of free money that you could be getting from your business. I don't care how much that referral program You need to really like make it interesting. I don't care how much it costs you. If you get a client, you get a client. All right. I have a lot of guys in the remodeling space that do this. A lot of my clients do, like, you get $500 for referring a friend. $500. All right. You can even have a raffle. We have a raffle once a month. You can win, I don't know, $2,000 Amazon gift card if you get so and so like a bunch of people to sign up. Every time you put your name, like you get someone to buy our service, your name goes in a hat. All right. Be willing to give away money. A customer should cost money. A good customer should cost money. Like, understand that. It's going to cost you to get a customer. And if you're scared to spend money to get customers, this is where you lose. Pop-ups. So this is like kind of like geofencing, like where you have like your name appears on all these random websites. Like, for example, DraftKings. They log into DraftKings and they get a little banner at the top of the screen that says like, oh, we can remodel your house. I think that's the laziest and dumbest way to run advertising. People swear by it. I don't. I think it's stupid. I always click off those ads. I'm never interested in seeing them. They look like spam. They look like bullshit. I'm never going to click on one of those ads. So I'm definitely going to put this in the D tier just because I know it works. But I'm just not really like a believer of it. The next one that we have here is networking. So this is like going to like networking events and meeting people, having conversations. These can be good. From my experience, a lot of times networking events kind of go where like you go to them, you have some conversations, maybe you meet a couple people and then you guys meet up for coffee and then it doesn't really go anywhere. Or maybe it does, but they want like a discount because they know you. Like, at least from my experience from where I live, I have not seen, I've usually, just because of the town that I live in, usually people are just trying to get a fucking discount. And that's just because this is the type of town that I live in. Everybody here is trying to like get, you get something for free or get something cheap. But I would say networking is still a really, really good way to get clients. If you can find networking events in your local town, even if you run like an online business, like a marketing agency or something like that, and you want to go out and like get your first couple of clients, it's a really good way to like actually find some great ways to get credibility and some work. I just think there are like better methods out there. Billboards. I'm going to put billboards in the D tier simply because nobody really pays attention to billboards. Like, what's the last billboard you remember seeing? And if it's one of those injury law firm guys that has a billboard on every single exit in your state, that doesn't count. All right. I'm talking about like besides that one billboard. All right. Because that's what it really takes. And understand that. Like Buc-ee's does this very well. You see this very, very well at Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's will have a Buc-ee's 200 miles away and have a billboard that says there is a Buc-ee's 200 miles away from here. Like, are you ready to use the bathroom in the best, in the best spot ever? Unless you have hundreds of billboards, and even still then, you have to have a good marketing system on the back end. Like, billboards are really just brand recognition. I need you to understand that concept. Okay, it's really, really just brand recognition. And so, unless you have hundreds of billboards, you really, really need to focus on other forms of advertising that are way cheaper. Okay, I know billboards are kind of expensive, and people think that it's a great idea. Dude, yeah. If I guarantee you your target audience, especially if you're like a remodeler, your client, your ICP, your ideal client profile, is driving down the road. The guy is driving, looking at the road ahead of him, and the wife, the one that's probably going to end up making the decision because everyone's like a pussy soy boy, and they need their wife to tell them what to do. The one that wants to get the job done is looking at her phone, playing Candy Crush. Like, understand that. All right. It's like usually it's the wife's idea to remodel. All right. Usually it's the wife's idea to make the changes. Okay. Not the husband's. So yeah. And he doesn't care. He's paying attention to the road. She's paying attention to her phone. Don't use a billboard. Stupid. Cold calling. Cold calling is dying. I actually have a prediction. I'm saying this first. I'm saying it here, I'm saying it now. I don't think you'll be able to cold call in 5 years. I don't think you'll be able to cold call. We already have the AI assistant people where you pick up the phone and it's like, please tell us what you're calling about. All right. Which is like such a hoed thing to do, bro. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that, but it's like somebody will have that up and it's like, dude, you are not that special, bro. Just let me get through. All right. I get it. There are some people, there are a lot of spam calls. I get a lot of spam calls too. But man, if you don't just put your phone on D&D, that's just my personal opinion. Cold calling is decent. I just don't think it's as good as it used to be. When I first started my agency in 2022, I used to make cold calls. And I remember I made cold calls. I would make 100 calls and I would book 10 appointments and have 4 of them show up, which is so unfortunate because I was just ass. I was so ass at sales back then. If I was like who I am today in a time like that, I would be crushing cold calls. I wouldn't be doing anything else. But unfortunately, cold calls are just like, it's just not like what it used to be. And it's also like, I was going to put it in the C tier, but just because of this, it is so strenuous, bro. It takes so fucking long to do. Door to door, I'm going to say this. People do not use their front door. People use their garage door. Why do you think people would open their front door to have a conversation with a salesman? People now, we are socially anxious and we have been programmed to sit around and watch content all day. People are closer friends with ChatGPT and the influencers that they see online, that they are less likely to come open the door to a stranger, especially since the news all the time is like people are dying and everyone's dead. And, you know, and then you got these women, your client, by the way, your ICP, the woman that wants to buy from you, that sits there and watches, those shows about like people breaking in, like Criminal Minds, that kind of stuff, like about like people getting kidnapped and killed and that kind of stuff. They're not opening the door to you, bro. And if they do, they don't want to have a conversation with you. You're disturbing them. All right. It works. I've seen people do it. I just think at scale, it's a waste of time. Now, my only exception to this, if you are doing a project in that neighborhood, there is no reason why you should not be walking around to all the houses in the neighborhood and having a conversation and telling them, hey, we're doing work for the guy down the street. And honestly, I think it should be like within like view. Like they should be able to see it. Like the person across the street, like, hey, I just came to knock on your door. As you can see, we're doing their roof over there. We can get your roof done too, or at least just give you a free inspection, right? Or like, hey, we're doing the bathroom down the road. Like, we can give you a free inspection while we're here. I just figured I'd stop by with all the neighbors and see if there's something, you know, that you want to get done in your bathroom. I actually had a client do this the other day and close one of their biggest sales because they went right next door to the person and had a conversation with them. So that is the only reason I would put door-to-door in the C tier. But other than that, like, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. In comparison, there are easier ways, there are faster ways to get you results. All right. I always tell people, you can either use money or you can use time. Which one do you think rich people do? All right. And rich people use money. All right. I use money to solve these problems. Okay. I'm not cold calling people every day. All right. I run Facebook ads. I have leads come to me. I have 3 appointments in my calendar for today already. All right. Because of the ads that we're running. That's how you do it. If you're running good ads, you should have good work on here. Oh, I did write SEO. Wow. If you're running good ads, you should have people filling out your form and booking up your calendar. It's just how it is. SEO, I'm gonna put that like in the D tier. Just this is like such a competitive market, bro. This is such a competitive market, and it's nice, but personally, I don't think you should be paying an agency like fucking $5,000 a month for SEO work. I just don't. I don't see like I think you should pay for more aggressive stuff. Like if you're gonna pay, you should be paying for offense. It should all be offense. This feels like not as aggressive. Google ads are amazing. We're gonna put that at the top as well. Google ads are phenomenal. It's just like, I mean, it's like Facebook ads. You only get the top 3% of people, or like the top 3 to 20%, which is fine because you get more qualified leads, but it's more expensive and it's a lot more competitive. Like okay, Facebook and Google are competitive in different ways. The difference is Google, you can only say things a certain way, like number of times, or like Facebook, you can do things anyway. There's limitless potential. Google ads tend to have better quality leads. From my experience, you get less leads, but they're all people that are ready to buy right now. So just know you're probably going to spend more money with Google ads getting leads than Facebook ads, but your conversion rate might be a little higher on Google. But also, here's the deal. Like, if you run Facebook ads and you are following up with your leads and having conversations with them and sending them emails and sending them text messages and sending them back to the Facebook ads and giving away free stuff and having conversations with them, you can get a higher, and this applies for Google too, but I've just noticed, like, Facebook, you capture a lot more people who don't know what you want or don't know that they need your service, and then they end up purchasing at some point in the future. So you can have, like, what's nice is when you're running Facebook ads for a while, at some point you're closing the people that just came in and the people from the past. And it's like, at some point, if you're closing people from like 6 months ago, for the first like 6 months you're running ads, you're not closing those people. But then once month 6 hits, you're closing the people from 6 months ago, and then month 7 hits and you're closing the people from month 2. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you're just, as time goes on, I've noticed it all builds up quicker, but you have to keep doing it. TikTok organic content. This is really good. I'm gonna put this in B tier just because your audience is probably not on TikTok, but this is just posting on TikTok. TikTok is a great way to see where it goes viral. In fact, if you're posting on TikTok and Instagram, I am more likely to want to work with you simply because I can literally go look at your account and see, okay, these are the videos that are performing, and then just use those videos and repurpose them for ads. So understand, this is some good stuff here. Yard signs. Look, there's a few ways. Again, put the yard sign in front of the house that you're working on. If you're just throwing yard signs up around town and expecting it to work, and you have 3 or 4 yard signs and you're like, I don't know how I'm not getting any jobs. Bro, your yard sign has 4 words on it and your phone number. People aren't stopping their car and getting out and taking a picture of the yard sign. It's just not happening. All right? I'm sorry. I actually got a lot of hate about this on Instagram. People were saying, oh my God, I see people all the time stop and take pictures of yard signs. No, you don't. All right. It's ego. All right. I've never seen anybody do it. Like, real talk. People don't notice this shit. Like, if they're not going to notice the billboard, they're not going to notice the yard sign. If anything, it's branding. All right. That's how I've seen it. I just like, and you can't track it either. Like, you don't know where the stuff is coming from. You need to know where shit is coming from so it's predictable. Facebook ads and Instagram ads are predictable. Google is predictable because you do it for long enough and you start to find out, okay, this is what it costs for me to acquire a customer. This is my return on ad spend. This is my lifetime my lifetime value to customer acquisition cost ratio. When you have those metrics, all you have to do is throw more money at it. Think about it. If you know for a fact it's going to cost you $500 to close a job, why not spend $2,000 a day on ads? Now you're closing 4 jobs a day. If you're making $10,000 from each one of those jobs, you're making $40,000 off of $2,000. Okay? And I'm trying to figure out the math on that. That's a 20x return on ad spend. So every dollar you spend, you make $20. Yeah. If that's predictable and that stays the same for 3 months, you're in business. You're scaling. Put more money into ads. All right? Yard signs aren't that way. You can get a person from a yard sign this week, and then you might not get another person from a yard sign for 6 months. And you don't know where the fuck they came from. Stupid. Word of mouth, obviously, bro. This is the best thing ever. In fact, actually, I've changed my strategy a lot. I'm really pushing lifetime value to customer acquisition cost, or LTV to CAC ratio, with my clients. I'm more concerned about that than return on ad spend. I think return on ad spend is a stupid metric. And the reason why is because people are so focused on how can I increase my return on ad spend, my ROI, right? It's like, and I've had this happen to me before. I have a client, they're making $10 for every dollar they spend on ads. And they're like, well, how do I get it to $15? It's like, who cares? All right? Who cares? If you acquire a customer, right? If you acquire a customer and you use this referral program that I talked about, and then that customer goes and tells 15 people about your service, and those people buy, that customer has now made you 15 customers. In fact, most businesses operate at a 1-to-1, and this is particular in the like the product stuff, like direct to consumer stuff. They operate at a 1-to-1 ratio and sometimes even a loss. All right. Ghost Energy did this a couple years ago. They had dropped their the Ghost Energy drink for like a month to like 50 cents. All right. They were acquiring customers at a loss, but they know, because it's an energy drink, that if they can get the people to buy Ghost Energy drinks 3 or 4 times at 50 cents a piece, they're going to keep buying Ghost Energy drinks, and they're going to be Ghost buyers. And so instead of, again, and like everyone's so worried about profit. I got to make more money. Who gives a fuck? Seriously, like really, really, who cares? All right. I know that's what you're in the business for, but really think about it. Okay. If you can acquire a customer and then you can get that customer to go tell 15 people, your LTV to CAC ratio, say every single person buys, and that's, $10,000 a piece, right? You just made $150,000 off of one person. Say it cost you $10,000 to acquire that first person. So you broke even. It cost you 10 grand to acquire somebody who paid you 10 grand. A lot of people in that moment will say, advertising doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It worked. It just worked. You just made a return. You just broke even. That's completely fine. That's normal. All right. You broke even. But now that person tells 15 people about your service. So the LTV to CAC ratio, you spent $10,000 acquiring the customer. You get the customer and it's $10,000 for that customer. And then they tell 15 people. So you made $160,000 off of $10,000. You have a 16-to-1 return, LTV to CAC ratio. It's amazing. So start treating your Facebook and Google ads like a way to get more word of mouth people. Because when you get an advocate for your brand, it's over with. If you're treating Facebook and Google ads like it's, I'm going to get a lead and then I'm going to have a conversation with this guy and then I'm going to close him and I move on to the next one, you're doing it wrong. You need to be friends with your clients. All right. I go out of my way to be friends with my clients. I have conversations with my clients weekly. All right. Some of my clients I have conversations with that have nothing to do with business. Okay. Become friends with your clients. All right. In the long run, it's helpful and it saves you money on Facebook and Google ads. You make more for every dollar you spend. All right. Stop worrying about, what's my return on ad spend? Because return on ad spend is like short term. It's like, okay, well, I made 3-to-1 on my return on ad spend this month. Who gives a fuck? Get a bunch of clients. All right. We need to wrap up the video. It's taking too long. Meta organic content. This is good. I'm going to put this in the A tier because, again, organic content is amazing, except the only reason TikTok ads is here and Meta is here is simply because, like, your audience is on Meta. Okay? They're on, and Meta is Facebook and Instagram. They're on those platforms. You need to be posting content every single day. And I'm telling you, if you have a piece of content blow up, actually, I would put this in the S tier. Because if you have a piece of content blow up, it's over with. All right, understand that. And then you run ads to that piece of content, it's literally done. You can see an exponential lift in scale in your business because you posted one piece of content. Overnight, your business can change. I'm not talking about those emasculating TikToks that those girls make you guys do. I don't know if you have this. You have like an office or something. If you got like some girl that just graduated college that's in your office and she takes cute little TikToks with the team and it's completely emasculated. That's not marketing, okay? That is not marketing. That is not content. It's emasculating the team. You need a real fucking advertiser in there. And look, if the girl's good at her job, she's good at her job. But for the most part, I've seen a lot of people they're like, I have a marketing team. It's like, no, you don't. All right, you have some girl that makes TikToks in your office and likes to, drink matchas every morning and talk about how she's a boss girl. All right, that's not real. Sorry, just being hateful. That's the truth. YouTube ads are good. We're gonna put this in the A tier. YouTube ads are very good. Again, the reason it's not in the S tier is because people can pay to not have YouTube ads. And again, it's just not as prevalent as Facebook and Google ads. YouTube ads is a great place to capture people who have no idea about your service. So if they're trying to get research on it or learn things, you can really long form piece of content, show them what to do. But I just haven't found it as good as Facebook and Google from my experience. TV commercials, waste of time. Don't do TV commercials, bro. Don't do TV commercials. Nobody watches TV anymore. They really don't. They just don't watch TV. And yeah, some of the older generation does watch TV, but a lot of them have streaming services. Okay, and look, if somebody's gonna watch TV. I mean, they might still buy from your thing, but again, I've had plenty of clients come to me and say, "Oh, we ran TV ads and it's not getting me any results." It's like, yeah, once again, just like the streaming platforms, like people aren't like they're watching TV, bro. No one's like, "Oh, I need that, and they like call you immediately. It just doesn't happen that often. Okay, from what I've seen, from my experience, this is all from my experience, right? This is all from my experience. So. That's the list. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. If you want marketing for your business, if you want the best advertising method for your business, click the first link in the description. Book a call with me. We'll have a conversation. We'll figure out what you need to do, and I will see you in the next video.